What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Wow! Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time I drop a video. You can go check the video out. Let's get into it. The shooting of former President Donald Trump. Some people are suggesting that it was all a hoax set up by Trump himself to get reelected. I don't buy into that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, for one, and they said the same thing about Suge Knight, but he got hit in the head, grazed, just like Trump did. Would they put their life on the line to get a point across? You can't get in the White House if you're unalived. I have video footage for you, and this video footage, I would say, is jarring and shocking. Because, come to find out, the shooter was loitering around the area moments before the shooting. He was suspicious, so suspicious that the police had taken a picture of him and circulated the picture amongst the other officers there and said, keep an eye on this guy. And yet, he was still able to get away from them. And then, moments later, there's footage of him on the roof. I have this footage for you. Climbing on the roof. Spectators see him on the roof. The police officer is right there and doesn't do anything about it. Moments later, the shots rang out. This stuff is pretty deep. What is the motivation? The shooter's name was Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old, out of Pennsylvania. The day before the shooting, records show he went and bought a ladder. He also went and bought 50 rounds of ammunition. And he drove then to the site of the rally and got upon the roof and took aim. Let's check it out, man. This footage is crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think.
What's on top of the roof? Look. There he is right there.
There were early warnings to police.
He's on the roof! He's not!
A Secret Service sniper team.
They're yelling, he's on the roof.
He's going down!
A sudden panic. And then,
take a look at what happened.
multiple gunshots fired at the former president. A bullet passing right by his head. One person was killed. 2 more were injured. How could such a brazen assault occur at a rally protected by the Secret Service and several other law enforcement agencies? To piece together what happened, second by second, the New York Times reviewed dozens of videos and photos and examined audio from the rally. Our analysis shows how a clear threat emerged minutes before the shooting.
Right here! Right on the roof!
And how law enforcement failed to protect the former president
Take a look at what happened.
and those who came to see him.
Someone is shooting at the Trump rally.
Thousands are attending a weekend rally for Donald Trump at a showground in Butler, Pennsylvania. Behind the stage where Trump will speak, 2 teams of Secret Service snipers are posted on top of sheds. They're facing in opposite directions, covering different areas of the rally. The Secret Service is also protecting the area closest to the stage. For areas further away, state and local law enforcement are responsible for security. And they are using this building as a staging area. Snipers are positioned on the 2nd floor. Videos show several police cars parked outside. An hour before the shooting, the suspect is filmed loitering in this area. A local law enforcement official told the Times that around 20 minutes before Trump began speaking, a police officer took a photo of the man who was acting suspicious. The officer circulates the photo among other officers, but loses track of the suspicious man.
So there you see the suspect, the perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator, Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old, loitering in front of the building. looking suspicious with a hat on. Looking so suspicious, he was reportedly a loner. And he's alone there. He's not joining any crowd. So apparently he looks suspicious to the officers. So much so, or to an officer, so much so that the officer takes a picture of him. Say, who is this guy? He's loitering around here. He don't look right. Something looks off about him. Takes a picture of him. That's how suspicious this guy looks to the officer. That the officer takes a picture and then circulates that picture, as he just said, to the other officers. Basically to say, this guy looks suspicious, keep an eye out for him. Instead of approaching him, arresting him, searching him, finding out why he's there, why he's looking so suspicious, if he has any weapons or whatever, they just take a picture and then lose sight of him. Even though he looks suspicious, we know eventually what ended up happening. So how do you lose sight of him when you know that he's suspicious? So much so that you decided to take a picture of him and circulate it amongst other officers and say, look out for him. And yet you lose sight of him.
This is a big crowd.
At 6:05 p.m., Trump begins his speech. It will last just 6 minutes. Right now, the sharpshooters behind him appear relaxed and are standing upright. At 6:09 p.m., exactly 2 minutes before Trump is hit, rallygoers start pointing at a man crawling atop this building, next to the staging area. It's the building closest to the rally area.
Right there, see him? He's laying down, see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Criminals. We have criminals.
He's
We
on
have
the roof. He's right.
dealers. We have people that
Right
should not be
here, right on the roof.
As the crowd yells warnings, the Times identified at least one local police officer walking alongside the building. At the same
So, he's on the roof now. Probably got on the roof via the ladder that he bought the day before. I don't see the ladder here in the footage. However he got on the roof, he's on the roof. The spectators here see him on the roof. So first he was around looking suspicious, standing in front of the building. Now he's made his way upon the roof with a rifle to take aim at the former president. Spectators see him on the roof crawling and tell the officer who's right here. The roof is right here, the officer is right here, as you see. And they're yelling, he's on the roof, he's on the roof. This is before he gets any shots off at the president. They have a chance to take this dude out. So the snipers who are looking in opposite directions, they don't see him. That's what they're there for, to identify a threat, identify someone who's trying to snipe the president and get to them first. Pop his top. But they don't see him first. Even though these spectators see him and are alerting the officer that this dude is on the roof and he's crawling, he's looking suspicious. This is the same dude that was down here looking suspicious. Get him. So now we're learning they had many opportunities really to get this guy before he let off those rounds at the president and unalive someone else who was there.
same moment this scene plays out, footage captures one of the sniper teams behind Trump turn around and face toward the building. The other sniper team can also be seen looking intently in the same direction.
My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom.
As Trump continues his speech, the man continues to crawl across the roof for over a minute. At some point, according to a local official, a police officer is hoisted up to check the roof, but drops when the gunman aims at him.
And look what happened to our country.
Seconds before he opens fire, people...
So, a police officer was hoisted up to check the roof. Now, having been alerted, someone is on the roof crawling, looking suspicious, ready to pop the president, the former president. The police officer, someone hoists him onto the roof, I'm sure with his weapon. What's going on up here? The suspect points a weapon at the police officer, who then drops down off the roof. But now he should have some sort of time to alert the snipers. Yes, someone is indeed on the roof with a weapon, just pointing it at me. And the snipers are right there, as he just said, looking intently now at the roof. So everybody knows now something's going on with this roof. Apparently, including the snipers. Because at first, you see, he said that they were in a relaxed position, the snipers. But now they're looking at the roof where the suspect is at intently with their weapons drawn, trained towards that roof. Yet, they didn't get off a shot before the perpetrator.
At the rally's perimeter, see he's holding a weapon and begin to run.
They're yelling, he's got a gun. So they see that he has a weapon and they begin to run. He's yelling, they're yelling, he's got a gun, he's got a gun.
One of the snipers drops his binoculars. The other grabs his gun. Within seconds, 3 shots ring out,
Take a look at what happened.
followed by a volley of several more. Video analysis shows the first bullet hitting the bleachers to the right of the stage. Trump is hit. Secret Service agents swarm him. Seconds later, a rifle shot is heard by the building. The gunman is shot.
We can see the guy there.
That's the gunman down there, right there on the roof. Laid out, slumped, parked, leaking. One shot to the dome, ended him. Now, they say that the gunman had tried to get on the rifle team at his high school, but did not make the team because he was a bad shot. That's what the report says. Also, the gunman's car was parked in close proximity to the rally. Inside of his car, they found IEDs. And inside of his home, they found bomb-making materials. And on his person was a remote control bomb ready for detonation. So had they not sniped him and took him out, it could have been a lot worse. Had his car blown up, as apparently he had wanted to happen, it could have been a lot worse. He had a remote control bomb on him when they sniped him and popped him. He's right there on the roof, dead, leaking, unalived. But how did it get to that? We just seen footage of the suspect loitering around the building, the area, moments before the shooting, as apparently the president is on stage because he was up there for 6 minutes before the shooting. The president is on stage giving his speech, and this guy is lurking, looking so suspicious, again, that the officer takes a picture of him and circulates it and says, watch this guy. And even though he circulates this picture and says to watch him, they lose sight of him. So much so that he's able to gain interest upon the roof with a rifle. The snipers are intently pointed in his direction. People are yelling, he's on the roof, he's on the roof. Then eventually they're yelling, he has a gun. And yet he's still able to get off these shots. There is a guy. It's a miracle that the former president is alive. This is a lack in security and a lack of security. They could have got this guy before any shot had rang out, as we can see. They could have took him down in many different instances and should have never lost sight of him. And they knew that he was there and looking suspicious. This is unacceptable. This is intolerable behavior by the security forces in charge. I'll give a Secret Service a lot of credit by the way that they rushed upon the stage and covered the president, not knowing where the shooter was at, if there was a second shooter, if the shooter was down. They covered the president and risked their own lives. Apparently was clearly ready and willing to take a bullet for the president, for sure, for the former president. That was clear. They covered him with their bodies, human shields. I'll give them credit for that, and then rushed him to the car. And the president, though, getting up, and I saw reports on this, people were upset because he got up and threw his fist up. Really, if there was a second shooter, giving him a headshot. And even when the president got into the car, he lifted up and threw his fist up again, lifted up his head instead of ducking in and letting them cover him. You should have never even saw him in any part of his body getting into the car. He should have been shielded perfectly, but he gets up and stands up in a truck before he gets in and lifts his head up and gives a headshot. But the shooter is here down after giving up the shots to the president, the former president. And a bullet hit the president in the ear, scraped his ear, ricocheted off his ear, what have you. But some, like someone else was saying, no, a bullet didn't hit him. It was the glass from the podium that hit him. The homie was telling me, nah, man, see what they saying? The bullet grazed the president, bro. So clearly, dude is a bad shot. Fortunately for the president, the former president, because, he is the one that ends up unalived and not the president. But clearly, he was trying to take the president out, and he was just unsuccessful. But he was there to take him out.
So where did the bullet come from?
He's on top of the roof. Don't go over there.
Audio analysis of this video by an acoustic expert at Montana State University found that the distance from the camera to the sniper who took the fatal shot was roughly 175 yards. This matches the distance from the camera to the Southern sniper team, indicating one of these officers likely killed the suspected gunman. We also know from aerial imagery of the area that a tree blocked the Northern sniper team's line of sight to the gunman, but the Southern team had a clearer view. Back at the rally, 1 minute after Trump is hit, the Secret Service say the shooter is down.
Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
As they move to take Trump from the stage, he orders them to stop.
Wait.
And mouths the word, fight, to his supporters.
Yeah. he mouths the word fight and commands the Secret Service to stop. Clearly, they're uncomfortable with this because, as you can see, he's giving them a clear headshot. Yes, they said that the shooter is down, but again, we don't know if there's a second shooter. We don't know if he's down and unalived. No one is on the roof yet to confirm that. Just that he's been popped, but they don't know if he's still breathing or not. He's still up there with the rifle. And again, there can be a second, third, fourth shooter. And the president should be down right now, ducking down, protected by the people who are trying to protect him instead of lifting his head up, giving an open shot, talking about fight. But that's just Trump. And clearly he has a lot of fight in him. And he wanted to let his supporters know that he was okay and that he still was fighting and that he was undeterred and unafraid about what had just transpired. Gotta respect it.
On the bleachers behind him, 3 people have been struck by bullets. A volunteer firefighter named Corey Comparatore was killed by a shot to the head. 2 other rallygoers were critically injured. A federal investigation has been opened into security failures at the rally, and there are still many unanswered questions about the gunman's motives and movements before the shooting. But our analysis raises another question, one the Secret Service wouldn't comment on. Why the former president was allowed to remain on stage when the threat had emerged minutes before the attempt on his life.
Well, that's a good question. And there's a lot of questions clearly that the Secret Service and others are going to have to answer and answer too. He just said it. Yeah. One of the primary questions is going to be, why was the president allowed to stay on the stage and give the speech, knowing that there was a threat out there? A possible threat, even that there was a possibility of a threat, he should have been removed from the stage. But he was not. He was allowed to continue his speech, and through the grace of whomever you believe in and whomever he believes in, he is still here today. Because some people have passed away from getting shot in the leg, and dude took a headshot at him, and just somehow it did not penetrate. Fortunately for the president, his family, and I'm sure for the country, for those who support the president or just does not want to see another human being taken out in that manner. Soon I'll play you a video from Trump giving his own account of the shooting and what transpired in his own words. He gave a speech about it, accepting the presidential nomination, and said that he would never speak about it again. But he gave a long speech about it, and he explained in his own words what transpired on that horrific day in American history. And I'll bring you that. In the meanwhile, stay free, people.